Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody. It is Saturday, August 26th, and you know what that means. It is time, once again, for the High Risk Wrestling Podcast. And I am your host, paying tribute to the ones we've lost. Jeremy Pierce, welcome, one and all. As always, you know you can check me out on the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, the 215 on Twitter, and as always, Coffee and Patreon are always welcome and accepted. In today's show, well, we are on All In Eve. We're at Eve on All In, Wembley Stadium, 90,000 people, and that's what today's show was all about. I won't even be before you long, but I'm going to really enjoy this show. But for now, you know what's next, so just go on and hit my music. All right, so with All In, I figured, we got to take a look at the 5 most anticipated matches of the card. Predictions to come later in the show. But number 5, kind of got to go with the Stadium Stampede match. This was originally supposed to be 6. Actually, it was supposed to be a triple threat non-man tag with the BCC versus the Death Triangle versus the Best Friends. But things happen. Pac can't come in. Phoenix can't come in and Pac is injured. So now we have this 5-on-5 match with the returning Santana and Ortiz teaming up with the BCC coming at their former friend Eddie. And the reason this match is really just anticipated is we've had Stadium Stampedes before, but the first 2 were in empty arenas. So when they announced Stadium Stampede, I was thinking, wait, hold on, y'all mean and after the arena, right? No, they mean Stadium Stampede. So I just want to see how they are going to pull this off. Number 4, Will Ospreay versus Chris Jericho. Now, remember when this match was rumored to happen, people were like, well, why is this match happening? Why? There's no story here. But AEW does something that the WWE doesn't do. WWE likes to announce the match and then have the story come from the match, whereas AEW, they have the story and then the match is announced. Prime example, the Trios Tag Team title match. That match wasn't announced until the Go Home show of All In. So Jericho Ospreay, this is going to be a clash of styles, and it fits the story with Ospreay lining himself with Don Callis. You know Don Callis is trying to get Chris Jericho, but these 2 could potentially have the match of the night. Number 3, the Trios Championship. And there's one reason and one reason only this match is really anticipated, because we're all assuming the Acclaimed are going to win. Now, personally, I would like the House of Black to win and retain, but the story is going to dictate otherwise. But seeing the Acclaimed, the pop, they may get the loudest pop of the night over Saraya, over Will Ospreay, over Adam Cole and MJF. You don't understand really how over the Acclaimed are, and this should really be a fun match. Number 2, the Tag Team Coffin match. Now, this was expected just because Sting and Darby are nuts. They are crazy, and Sting is another person that is super over. These guys are going to have a blast and really give everybody their money's worth. I'm expecting Sting to do something crazy. Number 1, of course, it's the World Championship match. Adam Cole, MJF, and this has been a fun story. We'll dive into it more, but these 2 have told really an incredible story, have shown some really good character growth, and the question on our mind is, who's going to turn? Will someone turn? With that being, the main crux of the story, we're all going to be on our feet. We're going to be waiting with bated breath to see what truly transpires. We'll be right back. Now, there are a lot of people that are important to this card, but there's one person who I am extremely excited for to see on this show, on this card, and that would be none other than Saraya, the former Paige. You all know her story, suffered a really bad neck injury, and she had to pretty much retire. And you know, she's grew up in wrestling. She's part of a wrestling family. She's from England, and she had to take time off, and here she is back wrestling again. And not only that, she's wrestling in front of her home crowd. Yes, I would have loved to see Jamie Hayter here, but Jamie is very much injured, and it sucks. I'm hoping Jamie can make an appearance, but seeing Saraya happy, seeing Saraya healthy, seeing Saraya getting to do what she loves on the biggest show right now in the history of professional wrestling makes me extremely happy, and I cannot wait to hear that pop that she gets. All right, it is time for All In. And listen, we've got the biggest wrestling show ever at this point going down in just under 24 hours. I, for one, am excited. So, how did this come about? And by that, I mean the original All In. So, All In 2018 started off of a bet. Wrestling Observer newsletter journalist Dave Meltzer said on Twitter that if Ring of Honor asked a fan asked if Ring of Honor could sell out a 10,000 ticket stadium, Dave Meltzer was like, not anytime soon. So Cody took it as a challenge. He said, I'll take that bet. Eventually, the idea evolved from a Ring of Honor show, self-funded. It was sanctioned by Ring of Honor, promoted by Cody and the Young Bucks. It was later announced that Kenny, Brandy, and actor Stephen Amell would all be participating. And it grew, and it grew, and it grew, and they settled on the Hoffman States Arena in Illinois, which is a suburb of Chicago. And it grew, and it grew, and they started announcing wrestlers involved. Penta, Ray, Okada, Deonna Purrazzo, who got removed after she signed with the WWE, Tessa Blanchard, Jay Lethal, Chelsea Green, Marty Scurll, Hangman Page, and it kept going and going and going. And then they had a fan convention. It just grew, and we got All In. And you know what it created? Well, it was the basis for All Elite Wrestling. And because of this bet, we have one of the top companies in the world. You know what the attendance was of the first All In? A little over 11,000. And it was a spectacular event. I highly recommend everybody to go and watch it. But before we get to the All In 2023 preview predictions, we got to look at the original card and just see how stacked it was. So on the pre-show, we had two matches. The first match was SCU, Frankie Kazarian and Scorpion Sky, defeating the Briscoe brothers, Mark and Jay. And just right there alone, it's four names. Second match of the pre-card was Chico El Luchador winning an over-the-budget battle royal to earn a championship match for the Ring of Honor World Championship later in the evening. And Chico El Luchador was Flip Gordon. But who else was in this battle royal? Look at these names. So we got Flip Gordon, we got Bully Ray, we have Moose, Brandon Cutler, Chucky T, Trent Beretta, Rocky Romero, Cheeseburger, The Hurricane, Ethan Page, Tommy Dreamer, Jimmy Jacobs, Punishment Martinez, aka Damian Priest, Austin Gunn, Billy Gunn, Marco Stunt, Brian Cage, Jordan Grace, Colt Cabana. Look at those names, man. Look at those names. Our first match of the evening was Matt Cross defeating none other than Maxwell Jacob Friedman. What? Second match on the card was Christopher Daniels with SCU defeating Stephen Amell. And Christopher Daniels was accompanied by Frankie and Scorpio. Stephen Amell was accompanied by Josh Cigar, another actor, and you know him from Arrow, where he played Prometheus, becoming one of the Green Arrow's top villains of the series. Next match on the card was Tessa Blanchard defeating Britt Baker, Chelsea Green, and Madison Rayne in a 4 corners survival match. And they got Tom, and they put in the work. Next match on the card was Cody, who was accompanied by Brandy Rhodes, DDP, Glacier, Tommy Dreamer. He defeated Nick Aldis, who was accompanied by Jeff Jarrett, Samuel Shaw. You know who that is. That is one Dexter Lumis. He was also accompanied by Sean Daivari and Tim Storm. This match was for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. The World's Heavyweight Championship, with Cody winning. Next match on the card was Hangman Page defeating Joey Janela, who was accompanied by Penelope Ford. This was a Chicago street fight at the time. I believe Joey Janela and Penelope Ford were dating. Next match on the card was Jay Lethal with Lanny Poffo defeating Flip Gordon to retain the Ring of Honor World Championship. Next match after that was Kenny Omega defeating Penta El Zero no Miedo. We had Kazuchika. Let me slow down. We had Kazuchika Okada defeating Marty Scurll. Of course, this was the longest match in the card. This match went almost 30 minutes. And in the main event, the Golden Elite, Matt and Nick Jackson and Kota Ibushi defeated Bandito, Rey Fenix, and Rey Mysterio. What? Yeah. So that was a crazy card. And I think everybody should really go and check it out and just go have some fun. You know what I mean? Go and really just take it all in. No pun intended. So now let's get to the All In 2023 card. Shall we? Our first match, we have 2 matches on the pre-show. The first one being Jack Perry versus Hook. Jack Perry will be defending the FTW Championship. We know the story. Jack Perry and Hook teamed up. Jack Perry turned heel, and he defeated Hook by cheating to win the FTW Championship. Now, they ran out of time this past week on Dynamite, but Jack Perry was going to actually retire the FTW Championship, so we can see if Hook can get it back. This is a toss-up match. Some of the other matches kind of have clear-cut winners, but this is a toss-up because Jack Perry needs to win even after defeating RVD, but Hook needs to get his win back, and Jack Perry gave Hook his first loss, so I'm going to go with Hook winning and to become the FTW champion once again. Our second match on the pre-show 0 hour will be Aussie Open, the team of Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis defending the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships against Adam Cole and MJF. Now, personally, I think this match is just a ruse and a setup for Adam Cole to slowly turn on MJF. MJF doesn't wrestle twice in one night, even though he did recently on an episode of Collision, but that's neither here nor there at this point. I think this is for Adam Cole to not really work the match, have MJF do all of the work, and then they lose, so MJF can be tired for later in the evening. So I'm going to go with Aussie Open number 10. They just won the championships, winning them in a fatal 4-way at the previous Ring of Honor pay-per-view. They've been able to cut some good promos, and they can do a lot more. So take Aussie Open to win this match. On to the main show, we have the House of Black defending their World Trios Championships against the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn. No longer Daddy Ass, he is back to badass Billy Gunn. And I hate when people say AEW doesn't have any stories. They've been telling this story for at least 2 months. The Acclaimed lost twice to the House of Black in Trios Championship matches. Both times it was because Billy Gunn got pinned. So after the last match, Malachi Black whispered something in Billy Gunn's ear, causing Billy Gunn to take his boots off and retire. So now we ran a retirement angle with Billy Gunn, and he finally came back this past week on Dynamite. And now he's asking for one more shot for he and his sons in the corner. Austin crying. But this is going to be a fun match. Do I expect this match to start the night off? Probably. Just to get the crowd going, just to get the crowd to have some fun. And because they ran the retirement angle, because Billy Gunn made his comeback, I'm actually expecting the Acclaimed to win. And Billy Gunn to win and become the new Trios champions. Now, I don't expect a long reign because the House of Black have been phenomenal as champions, but take the Acclaimed to Billy Gunn here. Next up, we have a 6-man tag match. We have Hangman Page, Kenny Omega, and Kota Ibushi versus Bullet Club Gold and Konosuke Takeshita. So Juice Robinson, Jay White, and Takeshita teaming up. This match also has the potential to be the best match on the entire show. The one thing I love about AEW is how their storylines sprawl from other storylines. So this comes from Hangman, Kenny, and Ibushi's feud with the BCC, and that feud already got settled. But Kenny also has beef with Takeshita because Don Callis turned on Kenny. And then Bullet Club Gold, Jay and Juice both have issues with Kenny Omega going all the way back to their days in New Japan. So I don't want to hear that AEW doesn't tell stories, because there's stories here. There's so many strings that are being pulled. I think this is going to be one of the longer matches on the card just because it involves Kenny Omega. This is a weird one to call because I don't think the Bullet Club and Takeshita should lose this match. But they're also going against Hangman, Kenny, and Ibushi. And that's what's tough. Because even though Hangman, Kenny, and Ibushi just won, what was that? The Anarchy in the Arena match? Bullet Club Gold have been excellent recently on Collision. But my gut says the Golden Elite will win this match. So take Hangman, Kenny, and Ibushi to win, and then the following week at All Out, we can get the Takeshita Hangman match. Next up, we have Stadium Stampede. Now, originally, this was supposed to be a triple threat trios Stadium Stampede match with the Best Friends and Orange Cassidy versus the Death Triangle versus the BCC. You know, things happen. Brian Danielson is injured, Pac is injured, and Phoenix can't come into the country. Visa issues. But they pivoted, and we now have Eddie Kingston, Orange Cassidy, and the Best Friends taking on Penta. Best Friends and Penta teaming up to take on the BCC and a returning proud and powerful Santana and Ortiz. Last time we saw them, they were Eddie's boys. So what happened? But also the last time we saw them, they were also teaming up with the BCC to take on the Inner Circle in the Blood and Guts match. So again, history, stories. Now, when we've had Stadium Stampede matches, the arenas have been empty. We had two, both empty, and once we got fans back into the arenas, we switched to Anarchy in the Arena match. I don't know how they're going to do a Stadium Stampede match with fans in the arena. This is going to be wild. And I just want another awesome picture of Eddie holding a gas can, trying to light someone on fire. Because he's going to try to light someone on fire. The real story to see here is Eddie opposing Mox. You know they're boys. You know this history. You know they love each other. If they fought before, but they've always come back. So what's going to happen here? I don't know. It's going to be so crazy, and the things they're going to do, the ways they are going to absolutely destroy each other, it's going to be a thing of beauty. But I'm going to go with this match is a toss-up. It just makes more sense for the BCC and Santana and Ortiz to win this match. BCC can look good. Santana and Ortiz just came back from injury. You don't really want to have them lose. So take the Blackpool Combat Club and Santana and Ortiz to win this match. We can transition to a couple of other things, setting up more matches for All Out. Will Ospreay, Chris Jericho. We are going to keep this short and sweet, nice and simple. Will Ospreay's winning this match. There's no way that this man is going to lose this match in this stadium in front of these people. Jericho's going to, I can't even say Jericho's going to make him look like $1,000 because at this point, Will Ospreay's better suited in the ring than Chris Jericho, but Chris Jericho's going to rise to the occasion because he's Chris freaking Jericho. That's all I got to say. This is a sleeper hit of a match, and I don't know what. Just suspect Don Callis to be involved some way, somehow. Sammy Guevara City is going to be in Jericho's corner. Maybe Jericho gets back up from the former JAS. We'll see. Next up, Darby Allin and Sting versus Swerve Strickland and Christian Cage in a coffin match. And look. First things first, I'm upset that AR Fox can't be in this match, so I really want to know what happened backstage for him to not be able to be in this match, because he was really getting a nice solid push. But we have legitimate daddy hater and Christian Cage here, and I can't be mad at that promo he cut on Dynamite. Oh, Nick Wayne, I hear you have a father and that he's dead. Oh, Christian scumbag of the year. But him being in this match brings more star power to the match over AR Fox, who's an incredible talent. And Swerve Strickland has history with Darby, but listen, we all know what's going down here. Sting doesn't lose. He just doesn't. Sting doesn't lose. Especially coffin matches. And I don't think Darby has lost a coffin match. He's had 2 or 3 so far in AEW, and he's won all of them. This is going to be a fun match. This might be the shortest match on the card, actually. Next up, CM Punk, Samoa Joe for the Real World Championship. Now, originally I thought this match was going to be for the TV Championship, for the Ring of Honor Television Championship, but I was wrong. We're going for the Real World Championship. This AEW World Championship that has a spray painted X on it from CM Punk. Again, people are saying that AEW doesn't have any stories, and every single match so far has had stories. And this particular match has a decade plus of story behind it between Punk and Joe. The best thing about this match is the whatever reaction CM Punk is going to get, because it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. But for this match, these two know each other well. They can't go like they used to, but I expect it to be a fairly good match, what I think is going to happen, I think Punk's going to win. He's not going to lose the World War Championship because I think they're going to do a rematch at All Out the following week in Chicago for the TV Championship, and that's where Joe gets his win back. So take CM Punk here, retaining the Real World Championship. Next up, we got a Fatal 4-Way and our only women's match on the card. Hikaru Shida defending the AEW Women's World Championship against Toni Storm, Saraya, and Dr. Britt Baker. I hope these women get time. We got a nice little preview of the match on Rampage. This is a toss-up. This might be the biggest toss-up of a match you have on the entire show because Shida just won the championship back maybe a month ago. Will she lose it? Toni is putting in great character work as like this crazy actress who's down on her luck. Saraya is back. She's also in this match with her Outcast teammate, but Saraya's also in her home country. And then Britt Baker can fall into that LOL Charlotte wins category. From what I saw on Rampage, these women are going to put on a show. They're going to do their damnedest. Will there be tension between Saraya and Toni? Will Ruby get involved? Will Chris Statler get involved? This is tough. I'm picking Shida just because she won the championship and she can't lose it. And during her last reign, which, by the way, folks, is the longest women's championship reign in AEW history, she wasn't in front of fans. And then she got a new belt and lost it, and then she lost it in front of fans. It's time to give Shida her due, and I think that's what they're going to do here. Next up, probably the match of the night. Probably the match of the night. FTR defending the World Tag Team Championships against the Young Bucks. This is round 3 for these two teams. And here's the crazy thing. Anything less than the greatest tag team match of all time will probably be disappointing to fans. Because we've seen the magic that these two teams have worked together. These are probably the two best tag teams today. And we've been waiting for this match for a very, very, very long time. It's about time that we got it. Just like the women's match, this match is also a toss-up because who wins here? Seriously. Do you put the championships on the Young Bucks? Do they even need another reign? Do you have FTR retain and solidify themselves as probably the best tag team in wrestling today? This actually may be the longest match on the card because these two teams know each other very, very well. They're going to pull out all of the stops. I am genuinely excited for what's going to happen. I am. With that being said, I think FTR is going to win. I think FTR is going to win and put themselves at the top of the list right now as the greatest tag team of all time. I feel that way, and I feel that that's going to happen. In our main event, Maxwell Jacob Friedman defending the AEW World Championship against Adam Cole, baby. This one is tough because there is a lot of story here. There's a lot of wondering who's going to turn to who. Will anybody turn? Will Roderick Strong and the Kingdom get involved? There are so many questions, so much stuff floating in the air on who's going to win. And honestly, I don't know. I don't know. You can't end with a draw, right? But can you end with a truly definitive winner? That is tough. Who's going to be the first to cheat? Who's going to be the first to really get the upper hand? And then will they let go of it? This is tough. Question is, how do you feel about MJF's title reign so far? Do you like it? Has it been good? Has it been a bit of a letdown? I'm indifferent about it. So here we have to ask ourselves, truly, will there be a turn? Well, we've seen time and again when Adam Cole was maybe going to turn, he's been kind of caught, whereas MJF stopped, thought about it, and stopped, and went to hug it out. I'm on the edge of my seat. I don't know how this is going to play out. I'm gonna pick Adam Cole to win with help from the Kingdom and Roderick Strong. And I want to see how MJF does as the babyface chasing after the championship. I think that makes the most intriguing story. I think he gets a stopover of maybe MJF versus Roderick Strong at All Out. And then we build towards one of the TV specials between MJF and Adam Cole. So I'm going to take Adam Cole to win the AEW World Championship. So let's go over the card one more time. And the winners, I'm predicting Hook to defeat Jack Perry. Aussie Open to defeat Adam Cole and MJF, retaining the retaining the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship. I got the Billy Gunn, the Acclaimed, defeating the House of Black, winning the Trio Championship. I have Hangman Page, Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, defeating Bullet Club Code and Konosuke Takeshita. I have the team of the Blackpool Combat Club and the Proud and the Powerful, defeating Eddie Kingston, Penta, and the Best Friend Charles Cassidy in the Stadium Stampede match. I have Will Ospreay defeating Chris Jericho, Darby Allin and Sting defeating Swerve Strickland and Christian Cage in a coffin match, CM Punk defeating Samoa Joe, retaining his Real World Championship, Hikaru Shida defending Toni Storm, Saraya and Britt Baker, retaining the AEW Women's World Championship, FTR defeating the Young Bucks, retaining the AEW World Tag Team Championships, and Adam Cole defeating MJF to win the AEW World Championship. But that is our show. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. Next week, All Out. Got the All Out preview. We're going to do that too. So let's get it going. Don't forget to check me out on the socials. Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube. Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram. The 215 on Twitter. Coffee, Patreon. As always. Zia Lee, Wendy Chu, Shotzi Blackheart, Bailey, Isla Dawn, Willow Nightingale, and Gigi Dolan. Holla at your boy. Peace.